Brooklyn Beckham just blew up Instagram, and people can't stop talking about it. After years of keeping quiet while rumors exploded about bad blood between him, his wife Nicola Peltz, and the rest of the Beckham clan, Brooklyn finally snapped and said enough is enough. In a raw series of posts, he wrote, "I have been silent for years and made every effort to keep this matter private." You could feel the frustration jumping off the screen. Then he dropped the real bombshell. "Unfortunately, my parents and their team have continued to go to the press, leaving me with no choice but to speak for myself and tell the truth." That's massive. Brooklyn basically called out his own parents, hinting that all those wild tabloid stories floating around weren't just rumors. They were coming straight from his parents' PR team. The internet went crazy because this is the first time he's ever spoken up publicly like this. Brooklyn didn't hold back. He flat out said, "I do not want to reconcile with my family. I'm not being controlled. I'm standing up for myself for the first time in my life." That last line hit hard because it flips the whole story the media's been pushing. For months, headlines painted Nicola as some controlling wife who supposedly turned Brooklyn against his own family. But now he's making it crystal clear. He's making his own choices. And here's where things get even messier. Brooklyn's finally exposing why his family can't stand Nicola in the first place. To really get what's going on, we have to rewind to April 2022, the day of Brooklyn and Nicola's wedding at the Peltz family estate in Palm Beach, Florida. It was meant to be a dream wedding filled with glamour and love, but behind the stunning photos and smiles, there was chaos brewing. The tension had already started, and it's been spiraling ever since. Everyone thought it was obvious that Nicola would rock a Victoria Beckham wedding dress. After all, her mother-in-law is one of the most famous fashion designers on the planet. It seemed like a done deal, right? But when Nicola showed up in a stunning Valentino couture gown instead, jaws dropped. Instantly, the internet lit up with talk that she was throwing shade at Victoria, and people started whispering about family drama all over again. But now, Brooklyn has set the record straight once and for all. He revealed, "My mom canceled making Nicola's dress in the 11th hour, despite how excited she was to wear her design, forcing her to urgently find a new one." That's changing everything. Nicola wasn't snubbing anyone. She actually wanted to wear Victoria's design and was thrilled about it. But then, just weeks before the wedding, Victoria suddenly pulled out, leaving Nicola in total panic mode, scrambling to get a new gown before the big day. What a shocking twist. That's not a snub. That's Victoria stirring up the drama herself. But trust me, the wedding dress chaos was just the tip of the iceberg. What went down at the reception took things to a whole new level. Brooklyn and Nicola had everything planned to perfection. Their first dance, a dreamy love song, the choreography, every detail locked in. It was supposed to be their magical moment, the kind of memory you never forget. But when the time finally came, the vibe flipped completely. Mark Anthony, the superstar performer at the wedding, suddenly called Brooklyn up to the stage. Everyone expected the big moment, Brooklyn dancing with his new wife under the lights. But instead, when he turned around, it wasn't Nicola waiting for him. It was Victoria standing there. The whole crowd froze. That romantic dance turned into one of the most awkward, shocking scenes of the night, and people couldn't believe what they were seeing. The tension was off the charts. Brooklyn wrote, "In front of our 500 wedding guests, Mark Anthony called me to the stage where the schedule was planned to be my romantic dance with my wife, but instead, my mom was waiting to dance with me. Dead serious. Can you even picture that? You're the bride, ready for your first dance with your new husband, the moment everyone's been waiting for, and suddenly your mother-in-law jumps in and takes over? That's beyond awkward." But here's where it gets even messier. Brooklyn revealed, "She danced very inappropriately on me in front of everyone. I've never felt more uncomfortable or humiliated in my entire life." That's wild. People who were at the event reportedly sent anonymous tips to Dumois back in 2022, saying the tension was off the charts that night. Witnesses claimed Nicola broke down and ran out of the reception in tears while her family rushed to console her. What was supposed to be a picture-perfect wedding turned into pure chaos in front of hundreds of guests. Brooklyn rushed outside after Nicola, and neither of them came back until the after party. That's how bad things got. One source spilled that Mark Anthony's speech didn't even mention Nicola or her family once. Instead, he dedicated a song to Victoria and Brooklyn right in front of everyone, completely overlooking the bride. Can you imagine the tension in that room? It was so thick, people said you could literally feel it. That night left such a mark that Brooklyn and Nicola decided to renew their vows in August 2024, and this time, not a single Beckham family member was invited. Brooklyn explained that they wanted to create new memories of their wedding day that bring them joy and happiness, not anxiety and embarrassment. That says a lot. They were done letting the past haunt them and wanted to rewrite their story on their own terms. But believe it or not, the wedding chaos was just a small part of everything Brooklyn ended up exposing. Brooklyn didn't stop there. He went even deeper, revealing some seriously dark stuff happening behind the scenes. He claimed that in the weeks leading up to his wedding, David and Victoria were allegedly pressuring him non-stop, even trying to bribe him to sign away his own name. Can you believe that? He said those papers would have affected not just him, but also Nicola and their future kids. According to Brooklyn, his parents were determined to get his signature before the wedding, because once the ceremony happened, the deal would automatically kick in.
My favorite outfit I've ever worn is my wedding dress. I got to go to Rome and design it with everyone at Valentino, and it was just a dream. My dad took me with my brother and my mom and Brooklyn, but then my dad and Brooklyn did something else, obviously, because I couldn't come into the fitting. Just being able to go to Rome and go to a new place that I've never been and design a dress with my mom, and it was just like...
But when he refused to sign, everything changed. Brooklyn said it messed with their payday, and from that point on, they never treated him the same. That's a huge claim. He's basically accusing his parents of trying to lock down control over his name for business and branding reasons. And when he didn't go along with it, they completely turned their backs on him. It's a harsh picture, one that makes it seem like business mattered more than blood in the Beckham household. Brooklyn dropped another heartbreaking bombshell. The night before his wedding, he says members of his own family told him Nicola is not blood and not family. Can you even imagine hearing that about the person you're about to marry just hours before saying I do? That's not just disrespectful, that's downright cruel. It set the tone for what should have been the happiest day of his life, turning it into an emotional storm before it even began. And it didn't stop there. Brooklyn shared that during the wedding planning, Victoria actually called him evil just because he and Nicola wanted to seat their childhood nannies at their table. These were the women who helped raise them, who played a huge role in their lives. But apparently, Victoria wasn't having it and made a huge deal out of it, even though both sets of parents already had their own tables right next to the couple. Brooklyn said the way his family treated Nicola didn't just end at the wedding. It carried on long after, making things even more painful. It turns out things didn't just stay tense, they got way worse. Brooklyn revealed that Victoria would repeatedly invite women from his past back into their lives in ways that felt totally intentional and meant to mess with him and Nicola. He didn't spill all the details, but you can picture it. Exes suddenly showing up at family gatherings, familiar faces from old flings being brought around like it was no big deal. Whatever it was, it clearly wasn't random. It sounded like a calculated move to stir up drama and make his marriage as uncomfortable as possible. Then came May 2025, David Beckham's massive 50th birthday bash. Everyone noticed Brooklyn and Nicola were nowhere to be seen, and the media exploded with rumors of another family feud. But Brooklyn set the record straight. They did fly to London for the celebration. He said they waited in their hotel for an entire week, trying to schedule real, private time with David. But according to him, David refused every attempt unless they agreed to appear at the big party, surrounded by cameras and hundreds of guests, basically turning their reunion into a PR photo op instead of a genuine family moment. When David finally agreed to meet with Brooklyn one-on-one, there was one shocking condition. Nicola wasn't allowed. That's a huge insult to his wife and a total slap in the face. Imagine being told you can't show up just because you're not wanted in the room. It says everything about the family tension simmering beneath the surface. Later, when the Beckhams traveled to Los Angeles, Brooklyn claimed they refused to see him at all, completely cutting him out. Things clearly hit rock bottom between them. But the biggest revelation came when Brooklyn started talking about what he called brand Beckham. He wrote, "My family values public promotion and endorsements above all else. Brand Beckham comes first. Family love is decided by how much you post on social media or how quickly you drop everything to show up and pose for a family photo op." That's brutal. According to Brooklyn, his parents have spent his entire life controlling how the family looks in the press, keeping everything picture perfect for the cameras while the real issues stayed buried behind the scenes. Brooklyn straight up called it all performative. He said the social media posts, the family events, and those so-called happy moments were nothing more than a polished act, part of the inauthentic lifestyle he was born into. He explained, "Recently, I've seen with my own eyes the lengths they'll go to place countless lies in the media, mostly at the expense of innocent people, just to protect their own facade." That's a chilling statement. It makes you look at every glossy photo and glowing headline in a completely different way. All those smiling family pictures, the sweet Instagram captions, the public affection, according to Brooklyn, it's all fake. Just a carefully crafted image designed to keep brand Beckham shining bright, even if the truth behind the scenes is messy and painful. What really hits hard, though, is how this has torn him apart from his siblings, Romeo, Cruz, and Harper. The only once tight-knit Beckham kids are now caught in the middle of a storm that's turned brotherly love into cold distance. Brooklyn revealed that even his own brothers turned against him online, saying, "My brothers were sent to attack me on social media before they ultimately blocked me out of nowhere." That wording, "were sent," says a lot. He's clearly suggesting that Romeo and Cruz didn't act on their own, but were being pushed into it, maybe even directed by their parents as part of this ongoing family feud. That's intense, like the drama moved straight from the tabloids to the timelines. Then things got even more public when Cruz spoke out himself. He commented on Instagram saying, "Not true. My mom and dad would never unfollow their son. Let's get the facts right. They woke up blocked, as did I." So even the brothers are now caught in the middle of this mess. According to reports, Brooklyn has officially blocked every member of his family on social media, cutting off all contact online. Meanwhile, Nicola went one step further. She's completely scrubbed her account, deleting every single photo or mention of the Beckhams. That even included deleting a post where Nicola once wished Victoria a happy 50th birthday, calling her "my beautiful MIL, and writing, "I love you so much and love being your dance partner forever." That line, "your dance partner forever," hits totally different now that we know what really happened at that wedding. It's almost eerie, right? What once seemed like a sweet tribute suddenly feels like a painful reminder of one of the most awkward moments of their lives.
We can get through anything together as long as you tell each other 100% of, what's going on.
I think also when you go through things in life, like the hard things, and you really know the other person.
COVID was a good test for
I'm
the
saying it's
couples.
easy to know someone when they go through easy things, but I think in life, as harder things come up, I think it really shows you who that person is.
So after everything Brooklyn has exposed, the big question is, why does it seem like the Beckham family has such a deep issue with Nicola? From the outside, it looks like Brooklyn was molded into brand Beckham from day one, managed, styled, and presented to fit a perfect family image for the world to see. But Nicola, she came into the picture as her own person, with her own powerful, wealthy family behind her. That independence might have shaken things up, threatening the tight control the Beckhams had over their narrative, and that's where the real clash seems to have started. Nicola's dad, Nicola Peltz, is a billionaire, a serious powerhouse in the business world, so she never needed the Beckham name to boost her. She's got her own fortune, her own influence, and her own identity. That independence didn't sit well with Victoria, who, according to Brooklyn's claims, expected Nicola to fall perfectly in line with the brand Beckham image. But Nicola wasn't about to play that role, and that's where everything started to unravel. Victoria, used to being the main attraction, reportedly couldn't handle not being the center of attention at her son's wedding. She wanted to be the most important woman in the room, but Nicola's star power made that impossible. Then, when magazines began featuring Nicola on their covers with headlines like "The New Mrs. Beckham," it reportedly sent things spiraling even more. Victoria had been the Mrs. Beckham for decades, the original face of the brand, and suddenly, here was someone younger, glamorous, and confident stepping into that spotlight. It's no surprise the tension exploded from there. Brooklyn made it clear his family's values revolve around image, social media posts, and carefully staged photo ops. Everything's for show, all performative. But Nicola, she wanted something real, genuine relationships built on love, not likes. That clash between authenticity and appearance was the breaking point, creating a situation that could never truly work. You can almost feel how draining that must have been, trying to live a real life inside a family built on publicity. But maybe the most powerful part of Brooklyn's revelations is how deeply it all affected his mental health. He opened up, saying, "I grew up with overwhelming anxiety. For the first time in my life, since stepping away from my family, that anxiety has disappeared." That's a huge statement. He went on to add, "The narrative that my wife controls me is completely backwards. I have been controlled by my parents for most of my life. Now," he says, "I wake up every morning grateful for the life I chose and have found peace and relief." It sounds like walking away finally gave him the freedom and calm he'd been searching for all along. Brooklyn wrapped up his message with something raw and real, saying, "My wife and I do not want a life shaped by image, press, or manipulation. All we want is peace, privacy, and happiness for us and our future family." That line says it all. After years of living under the spotlight and being molded by brand Beckham, he's choosing peace over publicity, and that's powerful. Now, sure, family dynamics are always messy, and we're only hearing Brooklyn's side in full detail. But what makes this different is how specific his claims are. Real examples, direct quotes, actual moments. If none of it happened, the Beckhams could easily deny or correct the story, but they haven't, and that silence speaks volumes. Plus, that long-standing rumor that Nicola's the manipulative one controlling Brooklyn, it completely falls apart when you look at the timeline and what's actually being said. Through it all, Nicola's kept her cool, staying mostly silent and letting Brooklyn speak his truth. No drama, no public fighting, just calm strength. That's not control, that's support. Brooklyn's a 26-year-old man making grown-up choices about his life, his mental health, and his future family, and you can't fault him for finally taking charge. After years of silence, he's standing on his own 2 feet, speaking his truth, and refusing to let anyone twist his story anymore. So here we are. The Beckham family feud has officially hit a breaking point. Brooklyn's come forward with receipts, Nicola's wiped her social media clean, and this once glamorous family looks more divided than ever. It's the kind of drama no one saw coming, but everyone's talking about. What do you think about all this? Do you believe Brooklyn's side of the story, or do you think he went too far by airing it all out in public? And seriously, what do you think really happened at that wedding? Drop your thoughts in the comments, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for more updates. I want to know exactly what you think.